It has been one of my least favorite songs I have heard over the past year.
When you see shit like this, at this level, at this age, at this stage, it's only getting worse.
If I heard this when I was 15, I would think, these are terrible lyrics too.
Wobbity wiggity, wobbity wiggity, wobbity wiggity, hoo.
Was popular music really better in the past, or are songs today just overplayed? Well, to answer that question, I did something a little crazy. I listened to every song on the Billboard Hot 100 of 2005, 2015, and 2025 to see if music has really fallen off. I did this because I felt like a lot of songs today were just unoriginal or bland, so to answer if music has really fallen off, let's start with the year 2005. The number one single of this year was We Belong Together by Mariah Carey, and it also included songs like Candy Shop by 50 Cent, Feel Good Inc. by Gorillaz, and Holiday by Green Day. While a lot of people still listen to a lot of these songs today, there's a clear difference between the Hot 100 then and now. Starting at the bottom of the chart, it's pretty much filled up with country songs, but you'll notice Rihanna is also chilling down there because June 11, 2005 was the first ever week Pon de Replay was on the chart, her first ever hit single, which would eventually reach the number 2 spot, just beaten out by Mariah Carey. You can also find a lot of R&B in the 2000s, which would pretty much disappear in the 2010s. Artists like Mario, Faith Evans, Frankie J, Destiny's Child, and Alicia Keys were some of the most popular at the time. Other artists like Mariah Carey and Akon had major R&B influences, and the insane popularity of this genre is really unmatched at any other time. I actually looked up why it disappeared, and it was because of two things: auto-tune and the popularity of other genres like hip-hop. And speaking of hip-hop, there was also a lot of that at this time. 50 Cent had major hits like Candy Shop, but also Ludacris, The Game, and even Will Smith were big in the rap scene at the time. By the way, this was also the year Sugar by Trick Daddy was released, which would actually end up inspiring an artist this year. Kelly Clarkson's career was really made in 2005, releasing some of her most popular hits to this day, like Breakaway and Since You've Been Gone. And by the way, am I the only one that thinks this album cover is kind of weird? I mean, that just might be me, I don't know. What surprised me was actually how few pop artists there were in that period of time. Despite this, Gwen Stefani took the second spot, followed by the Black Eyed Peas in fifth. While pop was hard to find, rock was definitely not, with tracks like Mr. Brightside, Lonely No More, and a song I definitely wasn't ready to hear, BYOB by System of a Down. And if you've ever heard that song, I can't believe you like that. While artists at that time were a lot more confined to making radio hits, with Spotify releasing in 2008, there was still a lot of creativity and risk-taking this year, and many of the genres and sounds at this time will probably never be heard again. While there were many songs that were hard to listen through, that could be said for every year in this video, and I did really enjoy a lot of the songs from this list. But before we head to 2025, we have to look at the great year of 2015. Major releases this year were Watch Me, Whip/Nae, Uptown Funk, and Hotline Bling by Drake. While there were a lot of hard listens, there were also some great ones, like Photograph by Ed Sheeran, Locked Away by R. City, and The Hills by The Weeknd, which actually took the number 1 spot the week I listened to it. Instead of the bottom of the charts being filled up with country like usual, this year it was filled up by Drake and Future's collab album. Speaking of Drake, in total he had 31 songs that charted in 2015, close to his 2022 record of 40 songs. There was also Cake by the Ocean, which had just been released, that peaked at number 9, and it definitely did not sound the same way it did 10 years ago. Some breakout artists of this year were Ray Stremmerd with This Could Be Us and Come Get Her, and Fetty Wap with again Trap Queen and 679, just to name a few of the hits of him that year. This guy's fall off seriously has to be studied. 2015 had tons of classics, and this was a time unlike 2005 where pop songs absolutely took over. While this created some of the catchiest tunes of all time, it also made music more formulaic, forcing the top songs to think inside the box to even have a chance of being hits. There was also an insane amount of dance and electronic influence even in pop songs. Prime examples of this were Lean On by DJ Snake and Major Lazer featuring Mo, The Hills by The Weeknd, and Hold My Hand by Jess Glynn, which is actually the song from the Jet 2 holiday meme. Now, listening through the top 100 today, you can notice a big shift in the type of songs you can hear. There are now Spanish songs, the return of R&B with songs like Mutt, and literally a K-pop song from a Netflix show, I think, in the second spot. That is just insane. So this year we actually got a bunch of crazy collabs that were pretty high up on the chart, so I thought I might just go over them. One of the craziest collabs this year was Big X The Plug, which is actually the guy who made The Largest, with Bailey Zimmerman, who's a country singer, which really shouldn't work, but it actually kind of does. I mean, it's kind of a banger, I'm not gonna lie. Another collab is What I Want by Morgan Wallen, featuring Tate McRae, which is not the type of song I would listen to, but I can definitely see why people like it. Actually, Morgan Wallen is literally printing hits right now, pretty much, with songs in the 4th and the 5th spot, which is honestly insane from any country artist. A lot of songs from new rap albums just charted, like tracks from Tyler the Creator's new album, Don't Tap the Glass, Jack Boys 2, and one of my favorite albums, Let God Sort 'Em Out, by Clips, which also has a bunch of songs. Moving up, we also have songs from Justin Bieber's new album, Swag, with Daisies, of course, being the most popular. And from this challenge, I've actually listened to a lot of the songs from his new album, and they're pretty good. I mean, I'm not usually a Justin Bieber fan, but I do enjoy this. So starting with the positives of this year, with songs mainly being streamed, there's a lot of room to experiment, and most of the songs I've started listening to from this challenge were released this year. I really think the freedom and creativity artists have has really evolved music, and now you can discover songs that aren't even close to the Billboard Hot 100 and enjoy them. So that's almost allowed more niche sounds to make their way to the charts as a result. With that said, one thing I did learn is that I'm not going to like every popular song from any year. So if you're a fan of Alex Warren or Benson Boone, keep enjoying your music and I'll keep enjoying mine. So how did the decades stack up to each other? Between 2005 and 2015, honestly thought it was close, but 2005 won due to its authenticity and its wide range of good music. Don't get me wrong, 2015 had some hits, but many songs were clearly following a formula that would get them played at the time. Although this might be biased, I actually thought 2025 was the best decade for music. Let me explain. While there were plenty of skips, there were also some great songs that would never even chart 10 years ago. I think we're living in a time where there's so much creativity in music, but only if you take the time to find it.